Alright, welcome back, welcome all, to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Draft Series. This time around, we're going to be focusing on Yu-Gi-Oh's first extra deck mechanic, Fusion. And let's see who our first contestants are. Manny versus John, round 1. Now both of these players have had a fair amount of experience with the draft. Alright, we're going to see Manny start things off and summon the Condemned Witch. Alright, now the Condemned Witch reads, when it's normal summoned, you can add one Forbidden Quick Play spell from your deck to your hand. And during your opponent's main phase, you can tribute this card. Special summon one level 4 monster from your deck, except the Condemned Witch. He picked up the Forbidden Lance. A very useful card here. And he's going to pass it over to John. And he's going to start things off with the Monarch Stormforth. It looks like he's going to be trying to use Manny's monster for a tribute summon here. But Manny does chain the Condemned Witch effect. So he's going to tribute the card. And it looks like he's going to bring out Starry Night Orbital, which reads, quick effect. You can target one light monster you control, tribute it, and if you do, set one Starry Night spell or trap directly from the deck. Okay, so it looks like he's going to be trying to dodge that Stormforth. Manny's going to set the Starry Night Balefire. So he's going to have access to this next turn to add a Starry Night monster or one level 7 monster from the deck to the hand. Then if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon one level 7 monster from the hand. Alright, he's going to scale up with the Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver, which is going to let him fusion summon one monster from the extra deck using from the hand or field as fusion material. And he's going to start things off by fusing the 2 Exodia pieces that he has in his hand to make Draco Necro Nether Soul Dragon. A very powerful card here. John is going to pass over to Manny, and Manny's going to start off with the Starry Night Balefire, which is going to add him basically a Starry Night monster. And he goes for Starry Night Starry Dragon. I believe he is going to end up summoning it through the Starry Night Balefire. And on summon, he's going to use his effect. If this card is normal or special summon from the hand, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Alright, that's very nice to just be able to destroy that Draco Negro. And it looks like he's going to summon Testudo, a little turtle. So neither player can special summon monsters with 1800 or more attack. Looks like John is going to take some damage. Man's going to set 2 in the back row and pass it over to John. Oh, he's going to be summoning on Magic Karibo. It looks like Manny's going to put that Spellbinding Circle on the Magic Karibo. Looks like John is going to try and destroy Testudo. But no, that magical circle is on Manny's side. And Manny's going to start this off by summoning Puppet Pawn and activating Exchange. Now that is an interesting way to play things. John has Behemoth, the King of 100 Battles, and Palladium, Oracle Mana, while Manny has the Buster Blader and the Galaxy Dragon. Looks like John is going to be taking the Galaxy Dragon, and it looks like Manny's going to be taking the Oracle. Okay, this is heavily moving in Manny's favor. Alright, looks like Manny's going to attack, and he's actually going to activate Starry Night's effect. So once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can banish that monster until the end phase. Also, this card can make a second attack in a row. Attacks directly with the Puppet Pawn, and that is a wrap! Ooh, in commanding fashion, Manny takes game 1. That Starry Night came down from the heavens. That was something to see right there. Alright, on to the next round. I'm guessing he might have made Manny go first here, just to get that extra card. Yes, and Manny's going to start this off with Silent Mining. By sending one card from the hand to the graveyard, you can add a 1 level 4 lower monster from the deck to the hand. He's going to send the Cataclysmic Koldo to add... Oh, he's adding the Condemned Witch and summons it right away. Looks like he's going to go after that Lance again. At least to have some defense. Sets 3 in the back row. And he activates Exchange again! Now that is one way to start the game. And he gives him the Galaxy Dragon again. And let's see what John has. Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, Dimension Guardian, Magical Abductor, Thousand Knives, and the Eye of Timaeus. Now that is a stacked hand. It does look like Manny's going to be taking that a Dimension Guardian. That's it in the back row and passes it over to John. Alright, let's see what John's able to do to retaliate this exchange of the cards. He's going to be activating Magical Abductor as a pendulum scale. Now, each time a spell is activated, he's going to place one spell counter on this card. Once per turn, he can remove 3 spell counters from the card and add 1 pendulum monster from the deck to the hand. Alright, and it looks like Manny's going to be activating his Condemned Witch to tag itself out and bring out something a little more versatile here. And he's going back to the Orbital. And it looks like he's going to trigger it to set 1 Starry Night spell or trap directly from the deck. And it looks like he is going back into that Balefire, especially since it worked so well the first time around. Looks like John is going to activate Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi as a field spell. Now, all non-effect monsters in the field are unaffected by monster effects. And once per turn, if your opponent special summons an effect monster while you control a face-down monster or a non-effect monster, except during a damage step, you can draw 2 cards. He's going to set 1 more in the back. Is he going to be just passing it over? He's thinking here. Sets 1 in defense mode and passes it over to Manny. It looks like Manny might have drawn Gigabyte, I believe. Yes. Summons Gigabyte. Normal summon attacks. Looks like he's trying to avoid that Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi to keep him from drawing 2. John is thinking to see whether he lets this go through. Yes, he does. Looks like the Galaxy Dragon is gonna take the dive. Passes it over to John. Looks like Manny's playing a little more reserved. That field spell is up. Oh! Summoner's Art lets him add 1 level 5 or higher normal monster from the deck. Which is probably gonna... There's a good chance he might have picked up one of the pendulum scales. Yes, he did. He's gonna go for... Oh yes, and Magical Abductor gains a counter. He activates Dragon Pit Magician, which gives Abductor another counter. He's gonna go and activate it, which lets him add... Very nice. Very nice. Dragon Pulse Magician. Alright, he's gonna set 1 more, pass it over to Manny. It's definitely one of the things I enjoy about the draft series, that there's a fair amount of back and forth, especially when you're still trying to figure out your own cards, but you don't really know what kind of strategy your opponent is trying to go for here. Looks like John picked up a fair amount of pendulum monsters here. Manny's gonna go into battle. He's gonna attack the face down. He attacks into the Dragon Pit and goes straight into the extra deck. Because even though we may not be in the pendulum era yet, we still keep the game mechanics as accurate as possible. Looks like Manny's gonna start this off by activating Ogdoadic, Serpent Strike. So, he can send 1 monster from the hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 monster in the graveyard with a different original attribute than that monster, special summon it. Ooh. During the main phase, if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you can send 1 monster from your deck to the graveyard. Now that is an interesting continuous spell. So he's going to activate it and send Gigabyte into the graveyard and bring back the Condemned Witch, putting her in defense mode for a nice 2k booty. Alright, he's going to pass it over to John. Looks like Manny's still playing it a little bit slow, especially considering that field spell. Oh, we see the pendulums coming up, so we're going to see the summon of Dragon Pit Magician into defense. It looks like Manny's going to activate his Condemned Witch, triggering it off to special summon a level 4 monster from the deck. And he's going to go for the Harvest Angel of Doom. So when this card is normal or pendulum summoned, you can add 1 Horn of Heaven from the deck to the hand. And if this card is tributed, you can place it in the pendulum zone. Now, I do believe that he made a small misplay here, because Angel of Doom only gets his effect when he's normal or pendulum summoned. But John does get the trigger off his Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, which lets him draw 2 cards. And it's still John's turn. he's going to activate Ground Xeno. So he's going to add one tuner or one normal monster from the deck to the hand, then destroys one card in his hand. But he can also banish this card from the graveyard to fusion summon a monster from the extra deck using monsters from the hand or field as material. The one and the only Dark Magician, the ultimate wizard himself. Alright, so now John does have a few cards to play with. Gets rid of the 1,000 Knives in exchange for the Dark Magician. And it looks like he's going to be ending his turn there. Passing over to Manny. Manny's got a few cards in the back row, but he's got the Magical Scientist off of the top. He's going to pay 1,000 life points to special summon one level 6 or lower fusion monster from the extra deck in face of attack or defense position. Now those monsters can't attack directly, and they are returned to the extra deck during the end of the turn. But it looks like he's going to get some use out of it by summoning Predaplant Ambulamalas. Yeah, close enough. Let's see what this little guy does. So he's going to activate the effect to target one monster your opponent controls with a Predator counter or one monster he controls. Tribute it, and if he does, special summon one Predaplant monster from the deck. Alright, let's see what Manny picked up here. Ooh, that nice Darling Cobra, which only gets his effect by being summoned by a Predaplant monster, which is going to let it add one polymerization spell card or one fusion spell card from the deck to the hand. So he's going to pick up the all-powerful Shadow Fusion. And this might be a little dangerous for John because he is playing with pendulums who do end up being considered summoned from the extra deck. Alright, man, he's going to be activating his Starry Night Balefire, which is going to let it add either a Starry monster or one level 7 monster. And he's going to go for Buster Blader, which does meet the requirements. And he goes right ahead and activates the all-powerful Shadow Fusion by sending Shadow Beast and let's see what he ends up sending. The Shadow Hound, fusing them together both to summon the one, the only Shadow App Clone. Oh boy. Now that is a monster right there, and it gets met by Torrential Tribute. Oh my goodness. Now that is what we call patience, boys. Oh, but Manny does have something in the back. He is going to activate Dimension Guardian by targeting one face-up attack position monster he controls. It can be destroyed by battle or card effects. And the Lance! Double protection. One for the Scientist and one for the App Clone. And he goes again and uses Magical Scientist's effect to summon out Norden, the Elder Entity. Alright, looks like he's going to bring out his Harvest Angel of Doom, which we do know here that did not belong in the graveyard. It did need to go to the extra deck, but I do believe it didn't make much of a difference here. Yes, he's going to use his Ogdoadic Serpent Strike to send one monster from the field to the graveyard, then target a monster in the graveyard to special summon it. So it could have been any monster really at this point. And he brings out Koldo. Wow! Because Ogdoadic Serpent Strike does not restrict it to levels, but Magical Scientist does prevent the fusion monsters from attacking directly. So Koldo is going to get at least one nice shot in there. It looks like he's going to set one more in the back row. Alright, the fusion monsters are going to go back into the extra deck, although I don't believe the App Clone needed to go back. But before John can even decide to summon, Manny's going to activate Royal Oppression. Now that is just nasty. Alright, looks like John is going to be activating his Magical Abductor now that it has the spell counters. He's going to be adding Moissanite, the Comet General. Alright, now John does have a few cards to work with here. It does look like he's going to be normal summoning Exodia, the Forbidden One. At least just the head. And he is going to be attempting to special summon Timaeus by sending one monster or spell trap that mentions Dark Magician from the hand or face-up field to the graveyard to try and special summon himself. But Manny's not letting that go through. He's gonna keep that royal oppression. So John does have a few moves, but ooh, that oppression is no joke. Alright, he's gonna be activating Ground Xeno from the graveyard to try and fusion summon. And nope, Manny is not letting it go through. Ooh, this is getting rough. Let's see what see if there's anything that John can do here. He's gonna try and pendulum summon the Dark Magician and Dragon Pulse, but no, Manny is blowing that whistle. Alright, looks like John is just gonna attack into the Scientist to at least be able to get rid of something here. He's gonna set one more in defense position. I do believe he might have summoned already. Hopefully that doesn't come up again. Alright, looks like Manny's just gonna go into battle phase and attack with Koldo over the head of Exodia. Passing it over to John. Since John is able to use that Royal Oppression if Manny decides to special summon. But no, looks like John sets one more in the back row. So fortunately that extra set from John didn't matter too much. Looks like he's gonna be summoning the Earth Hex Seal Fusion. One of these substitutes that can be used for any fusion material, but the other fusion material must be correct. You can also attribute fusion material monsters in the field, including this face-up card, to special summon one corresponding fusion monster from the extra deck. Alright, looks like he's gonna go into battle phase, and Koldo is gonna attack into Moissanite. And I do believe they're checking some ruling here, because even though John is low on life points, yes he does, he has something. Magic Karibo. I do believe this is something Royal Oppression cannot negate. So Magic Karibo is going to activate by sending this card from the hand to the graveyard. Special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from the deck or graveyard. So the one, the only, the ultimate wizard is back on the field. Alright, looks like Manny is thinking here. He's weighing out his options. He's gonna attempt to activate the Ogdoadic Serpent Strike by sending one monster from the hand and targeting. Oh yeah, see, looks like we finally fixed it a little bit. That Doom Angel needs to go into the top of the extra deck. All right, man, he's gonna attempt to summon the Buster Blader here with the Ogdoadic Strike. Even though John is very low on life points though. Oh yes, he lets it go through, but it's going to trigger the Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, netting him 2 more cards. Oh, but Manny's not done just yet. Ice Dragon's Prison. By targeting one monster in your opponent's graveyard, you can special summon it to the field. Its effects are negated, but then you can banish one monster from both players' field. However, nope, that is not something John can let happen. He negates it with Royal Oppression. Oh boy, now this is a great game. I am telling you guys, when it comes to the draft series, you get to see some great interactions and just amazing cards being played. I mean, whenever you're gonna see the Dark Magician holding the fort down against Buster Blader and Koldo, and that gross ass Hex Seal. Ugh. John is going to start this off with Monster Reborn. Nope, he can't let that happen. And it does look like Manny's going to be triggering off his Doodle Beast, Tyranno. So he contributes summon this card by attributing one monster. During the main phase, if a dinosaur monster is on the field, you can Quick Effect. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Doodle Beast once per turn, and this does get around the Royal Oppression since it's considered a tribute summon. Now that is a cool play. Oh, now with the Spirit of Yugi, it looks like John is going to activate Dark Magic Inheritance. By banishing 2 spells from the graveyard, he can add 1 spell or trap from the deck to the hand that specifically lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its texts. Oh no! However, time is called here because even though this is still a draft, we gotta keep everything as tight as possible when it comes to playing these games. Looks like John is gonna add the Soul Servant, but I don't believe. Yes, and that is time in the round. With the lower life points on John's side, Manny does come out the victor. Wow, guys, I gotta say, this was one impressive game. Not only did Manny use the resources that he was able to accumulate throughout the draft, but John over here, with a literal spirit of Yugi, using Magic Kuriboh, Dark Magician. We even saw that he had the 1,000 Knives and Tamaya's to try and fusion summon it into something quite powerful. As you saw, we ran through 45 quick minutes. Nonetheless, thank you to everybody watching and keeping up with this tournament. We'll see you in the next one.